Three, two, one. I'm counting upside down. Hey, y'all, it's me, Lynn Daniel, coming to you today from the Buddy Zone. I know, guys, it's been a long time since I've been on here, but it's just been crazy busy as usual, and I had to be away, but I'm back. And I want to come today and start a series about moving to Arizona to teach. Just share with you my journey, how it happened for me, in case you're interested in doing it. And so my technology is still very basic. I don't have a microphone. I'm using my webcam. I don't have anything fancy. I've got my water here, trying to drink some water, keep it all right and tight, as my friend Jerome says. Mm. Okay, so I know it's late. It's 10:43 here in Arizona. In the Midwest, you're 2 hours ahead. On the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead. So it's late. So, if no one joins me live, that's understandable. I haven't been around. So, you know, but anyway, just come back and watch this later. It's going to be up for a while. Today is, well, it's still Sunday, April 14th here. But the rest of you all, it is Monday, April 15th, tax day. And I am going to start a series about moving to Arizona. Now, what prompted me to do this is it's the nearing the end of the school year, and a lot of schools, teachers are, a lot of schools are in transition with staffing needs. And a lot of schools have a lot of slots to fill. And so I thought, well, it would be informative if I share my experience and what I learned in the process of moving my cert from Missouri to here to Arizona and teaching here. I'm finishing year 4. Okay, so just very quickly, I will say, now is the time. If you're thinking of moving to Arizona to teach, if this is something that has been in your mind and is still just a thought in your mind, then you take it to the next step. I would recommend you look on Arizona Department of Education. It's az.gov. Look on that website and check out the reciprocity process, because in order to teach in Arizona, you need a fingerprint card and you need that clearance. That process starts where you are now in your current state. So you need to call. There is a phone number there's the information, the contact number for the fingerprint card application is on the az.gov website. And get that application sent to you as soon as possible so that you can go ahead and take that, you fill it out, and then you take it to your local police department. They will fingerprint you on there, and then they will sign it. The officer who fingerprinted me signed it. They stamp it and everything. And then I think I mailed it. I can't, it's been 4 years. So either they mail it or I mail it. But I think I mailed it. But anyway, the point I am making is, if you're considering doing this move to Arizona to teach, it's important to get the ball rolling now. You can always change your mind. If you change your mind, it doesn't hurt to get the ball rolling and get some of these things in motion. Another thing is, because it is the nearing the end of the school year, we have about 6 weeks left, or something like that. We have two. I don't have my. Well, yes, I do. We have let's see, 2 weeks and 2 weeks in April, and yeah, 4 weeks. So 6 weeks. We have 6 weeks left, and many schools are in the midst of staffing. because in Arizona you have to, well, I can't remember how it is back home, but you have to inform if you're intending to not renew your contract. So the protocol is that you inform, the sooner the better, and then schools can take care of their staffing needs. So at my current school, there are several positions that are available due to changes in staffing and teachers taking on different roles and such of that nature. So this is a very good time to check out different school districts. So you can go on the az.gov website and then look at what is available in your grade level and in your content area. And then also you can learn a little bit more about the various communities where school districts are located through conversations with people you know who currently live in the state. And then you can read up or view videos about um, moving to the area. There are a lot of video or a lot of channels on YouTube that are dedicated to um, informing you about the various communities in Phoenix. And so learning about those communities will help you to decide which school district, which community you feel you would serve best with your talent and skills. And so, yeah, learn a little bit about the area. Phoenix is a large metropolitan area. I heard there are like 3 million people here. I haven't fact checked that myself, but I heard that recently that there are about 3 million people in Phoenix. And so Phoenix is divided into the East Valley and the West Valley. And the commute from either valley, either side can be about up to an hour, depending on how far out you live on those in those parts of the valley. So Central Phoenix is the hub. It's like the downtown area. They call it Central Phoenix here, and that is where you will find like the major hospitals and museums and businesses and things that I don't even know that are down there. But I think the transit system runs through there, and I believe the transit system is relatively new. I can remember when I visited back about 11 years ago, my daughter was telling me about the votes to get the transit system up and running. And so I think the transit system is being, our talks were going on to expand it into the West Valley, but I'm not really up to date on that. So that's something that I even need to research. I have my own transportation, so I mean, that's not a high concern for me, but it could be for others thinking about where to live and how to commute back and forth to your teaching position. So let's see what else you would need to do. Gather your transcripts, gather your letters of references, and just start reaching out to schools and letting them know you're interested because this is a very hot time, like I said, with moving close to the end of the school year, and recruiting is in full force right now. So some of you just may be a perfect fit for moving to Arizona to teach. Now, let's see. Most of the like I taught in a middle school back home, but most of the districts have elementaries, or they are an elementary district or a high school district, and then some a few that I know of have elementary and middle schools, and high schools are separate in their own districts. Is how schools are arranged here. Then you have charters, you have your private schools, church related schools like that. And so I can't really think of anything more to say. What else can I add to that? The process. Oh, so your temporary certification will be a 3-year teaching certification based on your transcript audit and your current cert from back home. And then, so in the meantime, and during that 3 years, you will be required to fulfill some course content like Arizona State Constitution, structured English immersion class, and I think there is a U.S. Constitution class as well. And then there are testing requirements that you may need to do, like the NES. These are content and grade level um, content area and grade level tests for your endorsements and things of the, your endorsements and certification overall, grade level and content, subject level, subject content that you will teach. So these things, yeah, get the ball started rolling while you're at home. And then that way you can focus on the other part of the transition of getting yourself moved physically from your current location to out here in the beautiful Sunshine State, even though Florida is called the Sunshine State, the Grand Canyon state of Arizona. It's a beautiful place to live. Um, I'll talk a little bit about the weather and I'll talk a little bit of how to dress. Do I have someone who has joined? I think I have one person, but hi, whoever you are. Um, Glad you popped in. The weather here, 9 months out of the year, it is very nice and mild and mellow and cold in the morning, like 30s, in the 30s and 40s, or even lower. Cold in the morning, warm, warms up to like 70 degrees in the afternoons, and then by evening it's cold again. So that's for 9 months during fall, winter, and spring months. So you dress in layers. I was taught or told by my colleagues to dress in layers, maybe wear a t-shirt and over that a sweater or a blazer or a long sleeve tee or something, and then a blazer or jacket or sweater, things you can peel off as the day warms up. And then in the summer months, so around it's April 14th now, and it's still it got up to I think 90 degrees one day last week, and then in my car it was 100 on one day, but it hasn't been that hot a lot. It's been up in the 80s. In the 70s, it was a few days, I think like a few days in the week recently. So it's still very mild, but by May, those temperatures will be increasing and into the 90s steadily and then inching up into the hundreds. I think the hottest that I recall it getting was like 120 or 121 degrees. So in June, July, and August, it gets hella hot, so very hot to where it's just is. I love it. I mean, I really like it, but you have to be wise about it. Everywhere you go, you're going to have water. You're gonna have one of these, or you're gonna learn to have water with you, ice, or you can put ice in there and let it melt. Don't leave bottled water in your car because that heat will disintegrate or do something to the plastic, and then that gets into your water and you don't want to drink that. But a lot of the teachers have what's called a I forget what that thing is called. You carry it when you hike and you put water in it, and a camel or something. And it's like some of them look like backpacks, and it's really a container of water, and it has a straw attached to it. And some people keep those in their vehicles. A lot of hikers have those. And then I noticed a few teachers had them last week when they went on walking field trips with their classrooms. But you will get used to having water with you all the time, because in the summer months it's crazy hot and you don't want to get stranded or just be somewhere needing water. Even to walk from like your, just to give you context, when I say it's hot, like to walk from your front door of your where you live to the corner of your street. Just think of that, how long it would take you to do that. Now add 120 degrees to that, and you're not going to want to do it, right? Because it's just too hot. So wearing hats, or straw hats, or a cap in the summer when you're out in the heat, wearing sunglasses is, you got to have sunglasses. Even though I have transition lenses and they can get very dark, they it's something about the lens of the sunglasses and how it redirects the rays or something. You need sunglasses, okay? Let's see what else. Washing your car. So if you're going to have a vehicle here, because it is the desert and it's dusty, and I like to keep my car washed, so I try to wash it twice a month minimum. I really like to do it every week, but that isn't practical all the time. So some people don't wash their cars because they say it's going to get dusty anyway. But if you're able to keep your car covered, like park under a shaded, covered area, that will be very good because it won't ruin the heat, and the sun rays will wear on your paint job, and you'll see a lot of older cars that are speckled, or the paint is spotty, or I can't describe it, but the paint has worn off from the elements. And so if you can park in a shaded area, or under in a garage, or under a carport or something, that will protect your car, reduce the heat in your car. And even though it gets here, I don't see a lot of, even though it gets hot here, I don't see a lot of people leaving the car windows cracked. Just an inch or so, like back home, we would do that, but that doesn't seem to be the practice here. Like the practice here is to put a sun visor in the front of your car to um, minimize the heat rays from coming in your windshield. Is one of those things that you prop up there in your main windshield, and that seems to be the norm here. How people um, keep, manage the heat from their car. Let's see what else. Um, yeah, but getting back to teachers, so if you're interested in coming to teach in Arizona, I would again recommend you to check out az.gov slash certification, and learn more about that process. And then look at all the job postings that are there on the website. Learn about the school districts, learn about the communities, like search the communities, look at the school rankings and ratings from various multiple sources, not just one. Talk to people, um, talk to school staff, just call schools and talk to people and see if they have time to fill you in on, maybe someone at the main office who is in the community, the position of community, what is that, not community liaison, or community outreach. Maybe they can fill you in. But that's my few tips. If you're interested, I am considering doing a series I am uploading a video as we speak. It's going to my main channel because technology is directing it there. So if you're interested, just leave questions or comments here under this live stream, and that will help me to know how to proceed if you want this series or not. All right, I'm getting ready to go. I got to go to bed so I can get up. Be blessed. Talk to you soon. Bye.